forward. Grant working well. Lamb kept the front spot. Grant also working hard, where Woden put his head over the ball and won it. Powell, Demons out of trouble.
Momentarily. Uze took it on the bounce, did it well. On the overlap, Whelan read it nicely and then put the ball out wide. Here's a chance now for Melbourne to build on something. Green with his 5th disposal, up to half forward. Robinson could mark that one, but Whelan kept running, which is good football. Here we go, 2-on-1, 1-on-1. Neitz has got it against Penny. Probably needed some support from Smith there. Went over his head. And 1-on-1, Neitz will beat Penny all day.
That was the kick, Eddie. It's the kick that sets the mark up because it had depth. Matthew Whelan kicked it to the far side of the goal square because he realised that that's where Neitz was, behind Luke Penny. So that's what made it. It was a fantastic long kick from Whelan.
But not only the kick, the piece of crumbing off the mark too was exceptional by Whelan. He ran from the half-back flank and got to terrific position. 4th mark to David Neitz. He's kicked 2 behinds and 1 out on the full, this time from 15 metres out. Game 200, his first on the board. This is 64th of the season. And Melbourne have kicked the last 3 goals of the game to hit the front.
I think you'll find it's a pretty even contest. At the moment, they hold sway in a couple of spots, Melbourne. Our full forward especially. Russell Robinson, who had Murphy initially, has now got Harrison. I think that's a better matchup. He is a powerful man in the air, whereas the Bulldogs have got also holding the advantage down the other end with Nathan Brown kicking a couple of early goals and
on to full forward. Hard ass there presented for the skipper in Grant. In the meantime, Melbourne are able to run it out. Whelan has been running very well, while Woden with the long handball out wide. This is Stephen Armstrong, who kicks inside 52. Neitz, who is the danger man, and he takes the mark. And if he has got the radar fixed up, he could kick a huge bag this afternoon. He has kicked 1 goal, 2, and 1 out of bounds on the full so far today.
Big kick for his confidence. Wonderful ball movement. We heard what Michael Roberts said at quarter time, that Neil Daniher wanted more run. Well, they certainly got it then out of defence.
Comes in and puts it right through the middle. That's what the Demons needed. He gets his 2nd.
A couple of changes initially from Melbourne's point of view. Shaneway Woden has gone down to the forward pocket to try and take Rowan Smith out of the play, David. Smith's had 8 kicks already and been devastating off half-back. But the run up the other end was what would have pleased Neil Daniher and his match committee. Wheatley was involved, Whelan was involved. That's what he wanted. Yeah, when Melbourne are playing good football, it's when they're running off the half-back flank, and David Neitz, perfect lead, perfect kick. Crediok on to Neitz. The ground, and Andrew Leoncelli is taking a seat on the bench.
Nathan Brown, Elvey, fast hands, intercepted beautifully by White. They've got open field here. The Demons are away. Green once again, penetrating run. Couple of bounces involved. Neitz on the lead. That is just perfect football.
You've got to love players with touch, Brian. It's an intangible thing, but it is from an old forward's point of view, brings a tear to your eye when you can see a bloke stream forward like that and just sit it up there nicely. It makes it absolute pleasure to play. You didn't get many of those, Gary. You had to work for yours.
David Neitz to kick his 3rd goal and put the Demons in front by that goal.
And of course, representing the midfielders, you've been underage football. You won't get a mention when they collect their goal-kicking award.
No, we're the first one to pump them up.
3 forwards here. I've got to look after the defenders and the midfielders today.
Brad Green, he continues to impress.
But what about the space he's got, Gary? There's nobody within cooey of him. He's had 20 or 30 metres, and no, I don't even know who's playing on him. He's found a lot of space, and his delivery's been superb.
Neitz and Crediok. Crediok's done a reasonable job since coming on to Neitz.
He has.
There's a good look at what confronts the players from the boundary throw-in. Off hands. Uze again. He just knocks up getting it in that contested situation. Whelan. Kick on its way. A little bit of poise needed. He had a lot of time and a lot of space. And the umpire will award a free kick to David Neitz.
Well, that's 50.
50 as well.
And 50 metres. So David Neitz will now kick goal number 4.
Well, Brian,
wait to have a look at this one, Gary. I'm not convinced.
I know about the free, I actually was looking at something else, but when a player's going to wake up, shut their mouths and stop making themselves feel good by gobbing off at an umpire.
Been oversensitive here today, the umpires, Gary. Regardless of that, they lead by 2, the Demons.
Well, unfortunately, Brian, I have to disagree with you. I mean, when are you going to learn your lesson? When does a forward or a defender learn his lesson? Steve Critiouk's cost himself a less than 50-50 chance of having a goal scored against him for a dead set certainty to make himself feel a bit better by giving the mouthful an abusive spray.
Well, sometimes you...
What, so you put yourself before the team just so you can get a bit of S off the liver?
Travis Johnson.
We've got to get some run happening. That's when they're best, Melbourne. A bit stop-start at the moment.
Here, chance here. Powell over the top to Armstrong was good play. Armstrong has a bounce. Next kick is important. Has to hit a man. It does. Out comes Wheatley. Sweeping handball over to Jeff White. He can have a bounce and have a shot here. He gets the lead now from Neitz. Good kick to the pocket. And Neitz takes the mark. He's tightened up the angle a little bit with the kick, but David Neitz.
He hit 2 marks in that passage of play. Both times they played on, they handballed quickly, and they could have gone back over the mark and slowed it down. They've just got to take risks, Melbourne, if they're to win this game and move the footy quickly.
To go back in front. 4 goals, 3 and 2 out of bounds on the full for David Neitz in game 200. And look at that. Right through the middle, and the Demons hit the front. 11 minutes into the third term.
Armstrong important in that passage of play, the young fellow who, he's their first pick in the draft. But look at this. That is quick movement of the footy. Get it on quickly, and it allows your forwards to compete one out. And that has to be the priority. No going back and kicking over the mark. And if it costs you a goal in the process, David, it's probably a risk that you take.
Yeah, no, it's a terrific lead. He's honoured the lead too, Jeff, and the coach will be very happy with that.
Nowhere to go now, so he has to hold up a play. Did it nicely. Over the top to Ward, who likes to have a bit of a run. Murphy corrals him nicely, though. Back to Leoncelli. Setting up play through Jolly now on centre wing. Back to Leoncelli, who kept running on centre wing. The left foot kick was an ordinary one around the body, but it hit the target. Robertson, diving mark, thumps it long. 1-on-1 is the way Neitz likes it. Gets back and takes the mark. Great play by Andrew Leoncelli to set that play up. He ran probably all of 100 metres from the back pocket to centre wing, and as a result, Neitz lines up with his 10th mark to kick his 6th goal.
Big change, wasn't it? Big difference. One side, the Western Bulldogs don't play on, go back over the mark, get it spoiled. The other way, it's just play on, play on, play on, one out contest. Could be a goal.
In comes Neitz to kick his 6th. He started at left, it bent back, he's got it. 6 goals, Demons are away.
Yeah, well, he's kicked 6 up to nearly halfway through this third quarter and being very dangerous. If they get him one out, Gary, as we've said all day, he's going to be almost unstoppable. And Critiouk, once he gets front position, he's very, very hard to get in front of him. And he's still not kicking the ball great, David, but he's close enough to put it through and causing all sorts of problems down there for the Doggies' defence.
A good presentation from Russell Robertson across half forward as well. So
he's going to go all the way here. 48 metres out on the left foot. Smother was an absolute cracker from Bizzle. He's got a broken hand, that bloke, and he put his head over the ball and smothered it, and Melbourne get a free kick, and the members say about time.
That is fantastic football. Mitch Harm was heading to goal. Now the Demons have opened it up on the north side. Robinson.
Talk about heroics, Brian. Broken hand, throw yourself onto a big boot like that.
Walsh.
Over the top to Whelan.
Over the top, here goes Whelan, and an opportunity to score. He's set it up for Neitz. Neitz throws Critiouk out of the way and marks it in the goal square. This to put the Demons 3 straight goals in front.
Now turn around and get yourself over to the bloke. I was going to say, look at that. Go and get over to him, Clint Bizzle. That is the thing that wins your games of footy.
Especially when you've got an injury as he has on the hand. He's got a broken metacarpal, as Doc said earlier on, and to put your body on the line like that shows a lot of courage and a lot of commitment to the team.
This is Neitz's 7th bag of goals this season, 5 or more in a game, and today he's kicked 7.
Let's not underestimate for a minute the return of the skipper in this occasion. They were challenged in the third quarter. The ball went up the other end. He kicked 2 goals in that third period when they were under the pump. And again, right now, with Melbourne being challenged again by the Western Bulldogs, he is able to stand shoulder-to-shoulder mark and goal again.
A pretty good effort on his 200th game too,
Oh,
Gary. He
it's a
stood
great
up
one.
unbelievably today.
Look at this for a smother. There's a bloke with a broken hand. Hahn was on his way to goal. Clint Bizzle saved the day. And David Neitz in game 200 has kicked 7 goals, 3 and 2 out of bounds on the full. He's had 12 shots at goal to kick 7 match-winning majors.